Born in Hawaii, moved to Marin County, started racing motorcycles as a kid. One thing led to another. I ended up here in LA, and here I am. My name is Michael Woolaway, but people call me Woolie. I'm somewhere in between an engineer, mechanic, artist. My mother, my brother are fine artists. My older brother's a nuclear physicist. My younger brother's an aerospace engineer, and I'm right in the middle. I think I'm like just right in the middle of all that. My first motorbike experience probably was in Hawaii as an infant, looking out the window of my mom's Volkswagen Bug and watching some motorcycle drive by. I don't know what it was, but from that moment on, I was hooked and just enthralled with motorcycles. Road racing, I think there was two different Woolies. There was me in the pits. It was really fun to hang around with. And then on the racetrack, a lot of times I don't even know what happened. I just was told afterwards that, yeah, you know, I went by them and there was a big black mark I left all the way around the turn. So I don't know. I mean, it's just, yeah, maybe there's two different Woolies. Deus, how did I end up at Deus? They were expanding and the brand became more and more popular, and there are people here in Southern California that wanted their bikes and were ordering bikes from them, but they couldn't import them. And one way or another, I met them and we kind of hit it off right off the bat, and they asked me, hey, can you build our bikes for us here? And so I did. The biggest difference with Deus is that we really reach out to the community and try to bring people together, you know, once a month in the parking lot. We have events and food and beer and, you know, music, and it's fun. It's a fun brand. The bike build process here has kind of evolved a little bit, but at this point, if somebody's really serious and has the money, because the bikes are expensive, then we have an interview, and I typically ask him how he's going to use the bike, where he's going to use it, and that pretty much determines the power plant for the bike. From that point on, I ask him to send me images of things that inspire him. Could be landscapes or cars or motorcycles, hopefully, of any period. And from that, after talking to him, I can usually, somehow in my head, I can kind of see the bike. Although I tend to build kind of race bikes for the street. So something that's very capable, but also very nimble and easy to ride. Bike building and bike building philosophy for me is it's all tailored to the customer, because these bikes are all, you know, sold. They're all, you know, designed, you know, purpose-built for individuals. And so I want to build that person the perfect bike for his needs, and that's where we start, is how he's going to use the bike, and we just build from there. And each bike's completely different, but the baseline for the bikes is straight frames, valved and sprung properly, and race bike theory behind whatever project it is, whether it's for the dirt or for the street, but in the end, that it's the perfect vehicle for the person that's bought the bike. The most important part of a bike is geometry and setup. The best build request I've ever had came from Josh from Hunger Games. He came in and he said, I want a bike, and, you know, I was in the middle of working on something, and I looked up and I thought, geez, I thought I had the sign up at the door, employees only, and here he was, and he just kept talking to me, and he said, I want a bike, I want a really fast bike. That was the best request I've ever had, because usually people have, you know, an idea about what it is, and then we work together and kind of go down a long road of coming together at a point with something that you know is going to be neat. But Josh really left an open platform, and we're building him right now chrome moly frame cafe racer with a Johnny Campbell spec HRC 650R motor, and it's going to just be probably one of the funnest bikes to ride ever. We've turned away bike builds here, more than one, just because it didn't fit our profile. We're kind of specific into building cafe racers, desert sleds, surf adventure bikes, vintage bikes. I'll build almost anything, but we're really not into choppers and studded, spiky things. We don't really do that stuff. Favorite bike here at the moment, I'm probably sitting on it, Moto Grigio. This bike in particular, we retain the stock frame. It's a modified Öhlins fork, anodized black, and hand-rolled fender, hand-rolled tank, hand-rolled seat, handmade exhaust system. But the main philosophy here that we try to stick with is we try to use American-built parts. So most of the parts I buy when I can are from a small racer, that's producing like hubs. These hubs are from a guy in Colorado, Davey Durrell. The spokes and rims are Buchanan, they're from the valley out here, and the shocks are from Works Performance, they're in the valley over here. It's mostly American-made parts, all from racers, that are making these small parts to pay for, feeding their family and supporting their race team. It's a highly modified bike. There's probably 400 hours of labor in this bike right here. The intrigue about, the first ride for a bike after spending 400 or 500 hours building it can be pretty big. I anticipate what it's going to work like, but then once you get on it and you ride it, it's just that moment, that you open the throttle and you lean into the turn, you hit the brakes, and knowing that, wow, I created this and it works perfect. The thing I haven't done on a bike yet that I've always wanted to do is Pikes Peak, and I have a proper bike to race Pikes Peak next year that we've built in the shop right now, and we're going to do that next year. My zen for motorcycles is that moment when you're on a motorcycle on a racetrack and pushing it to the limit when everything just works perfect and you don't even know what you're doing, but it's just all happening. My nickname is He's Gone, because he's gone.